right, and we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And I'm excited today because I have my polar opposite here, a minimalist when I am not, and I'd love to learn a little bit about it. And can you say hello and introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah, or the Minimalist VIPKid Teacher. I also have a second channel that's all about minimalism and mental health and things like that. So this is my new baby channel, all about my experience with VIPKid. So I've been with them for a little over 3 years now, and it has just been an amazing, oh, there we go, getting an ad. It's been,
There's an ad on my channel?
no. It
Oh.
was an ad, like somehow because I'm on YouTube, so I could read the comments, and then an ad popped up there. That's what
Yeah,
it
well, I do
was.
have ads because I'm monetized, but I didn't know if it was in the middle of lives.
I don't
Hey,
know.
James, thanks for coming, and
Yes,
Cindy.
I see James and Cindy. Y'all don't know who I am, but hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sarah.
This is my friend Sarah. So I saw Sarah has a channel all about minimalism, and I asked her to come on and chat with us today. I know so many teachers have questions about being a minimalist or how to go about it, how to get
Mhm.
started, or those kind of things. So I thought it would be neat to introduce you to Sarah. Hey, Candy, thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you, Candy.
Awesome. I'm super excited to have you. So
Thank you so
I think
much.
we got a little bit cut off. Did you want to really quick tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I was a high school Spanish teacher for about 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. Entonces, yo hablo español. Yo no sé si ustedes también hablan español o no. Entonces, tal vez no me pueden entender. So I was a Spanish teacher for a few years. My husband is Mexican, and so I just love Hispanic culture, the Spanish language.
Great.
But shortly after I had my son, I decided to quit and stay home. And so
Mm-hmm.
VIPKid was the solution. And that's like the same story that 5 billion other moms share because it just really is the perfect job for new moms. And so that's really what brought me here. And so I've been with him for over 3 years now.
That's great. That's awesome. I've been with VIPKid. I'm on my third contract. So what's that?
Oh,
Almost a year and
sweet.
a half ish. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
let's see. Well, you told us your why and what you did before VIPKid. So what does your VIPKid schedule look like?
Right now, I am teaching Wednesday and Thursday mornings from about 5 to 7, somewhere in that range. For
Mhm.
certain kids, I've opened it up at like 4:30. I may go back to doing 4 a.m., but
Yeah.
that's rough. That is rough, especially when you have a toddler. So I have a
Yeah.
toddler and sleep is not always the best. So getting up that early is kind of challenging, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm still doing 5 a.m.s right now till 7. And then on Friday and Saturday nights, I do 6:30 until 11, 11:30, somewhere in there. So I'm
Yeah.
still very, very part-time. I'm nowhere near a full-time schedule or anything like that.
Right. I'm part-time too, but I teach 7 days a week.
Oh,
So
okay. And
yeah.
see, I just keep mine all closer so I feel like I have more days off, or you know what I mean, like more
Hmm.
time off. So
Yeah, I think I really need to do that. But then I go to cancel, like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this day off, and then it's
uh-huh.
like booking requests, and I'm like, oh, but I love
I
them.
know, I know, I know that makes it hard. And for me, if I could do that, I would love to be able to teach more. I also have to base my schedule around when my husband is home
Right.
because I have to have him to watch my son. And so that also plays a big part into my schedule. And basically, I just have to work when he's here. And his schedule's crazy weird. He doesn't have typical weekends.
Right.
So we have to base it around that.
Good. I don't have children at home. Both of mine are, one's married and finished college, and one's in college. So
Gotcha.
awesome. We have questions coming in. Hey guys, if you have questions for Sarah or for me, please put them in the chat box. Hey Kelly, thanks for coming.
What
Okay,
kind
here's
of
my question.
organizational system do you use? Do you want me to go ahead and answer them as they're coming in, or we'll take them at the end?
We'll just take them a little bit. I
Okay,
just want to hit VIPKid stuff first, and then,
perfect.
well, I guess it all kind of goes together. It doesn't matter. um, let's see, where am I? How do you handle distracted or, the tough kiddos?
For me, I deal mostly with upper level students. And so
Okay.
thankfully, you don't see a ton of that just because they're old enough, they're mature enough. Even if they don't want to be there, they know to just
Right.
sit there, say it, go through with it. So I really don't have that struggle very often. And I'm
Yeah.
very thankful for that. But my new saying that I've come up with, and I'm sure I'm probably not the only person who said it, is they're called trials for a reason. It can be a trial getting through those. And so for me, I'm not a lower level teacher. Whenever I was teaching public school, it was high school. So that's out of my comfort zone, working with little kids. And so I know most people are the opposite. They're like, ew, high school kids, so
I'm a
rude in the
kindergarten teacher.
attitude. And I'm like, no, give me the teenagers. I'll take them. I'll take them. It's trying to entertain a 4-year-old for 25 minutes. So that
Yeah.
is one of my struggles. That's an area of weakness for me. So
Right.
I do not use props in my
Mhm.
classroom. And that's probably going to touch on another question later on. So
Yeah.
I am not going to be like, oh, here's my stuffed animal, look at it, to get their attention. I don't do that. That's just not me. And
Yeah.
so I just act as if I would to my kid,
Okay.
because he's younger and clearly cannot focus, doesn't have an attention span. So I
Right.
just try to treat them like that, just be as kind as I can, but also being able to be that somewhat firm teacher that says, okay, we need to do this. Can
Hmm.
you come back over here? I need to see you on camera. And what I even do, that's a struggle too sometimes. It's just getting the kids to show their face on camera.
Yeah.
But sometimes too, I'll holler at mom and dad in the background. If I'm struggling, I can say mama, baba, and just holler at them until someone comes over. Or I'll even
Right.
tell them like, go get your mom. I want to talk to your mom. And then, just say something like, can you sit here? Or,
Hmm.
whatever it may be, depending on the level of English that the parents have. And I always contact firemen if I'm having any behavior issues or
Yeah.
just not, I don't want to say like not focusing as a behavior issue, but if you're not focusing to where you can't do the lesson,
Hmm.
I always contact them for sure. And they're pretty good at communicating with the parents, and the parents are usually supportive once they find out
Yeah.
that the student wasn't focusing too much.
Right. Good. So let's see. Candy said, what kind of organizational system do you use? And do you use bullet journal or something similar?
Conveniently, I have this sitting right here on my desk. This is the Happy Journal, Happy
Oh,
Planner
I have one
Journal.
of those.
And I got it with high hopes for the year. And I was like, I'm going to be so organized. I've got all these tabs, I've got these stickers. I'm just going to plan out my year every week by week. And now it's 2020. And I'm like, forget the planner. So I hardly ever touch it.
Yeah.
Let me see who else that asked that. Candy. Is that Candy?
Yeah, candy.
Addicted. I love candy too. So I hardly ever use it right now. I mostly just schedule doctor's appointments in here, and that's about all I do. As for using a planner or anything for VIPKid, I really don't. I just look at it on my phone and go from there.
Yeah.
So I keep a really consistent schedule.
Mhm.
I don't do bullet journals. I don't sit there and just journal for fun to get my thoughts out. I see a counselor for that. And so
Right.
I just get all of that out there. So I really don't even use a planner or journal.
I live by my planner. I mean, you can tell my mind is so busy that if I don't write something on that calendar, it's not happening.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even just because I'm busy, just because I won't remember that I have it.
Hmm.
So,
I put it in my phone a lot. So I'll do
yeah.
that. I'll put things
Yeah.
in my phone.
Yeah, I don't write out my VIP kid schedule though.
Hmm.
Even if it's not consistent, I just constantly check my phone.
Exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of technology is we can do that.
Yeah. So Candy wanted to know, are you certified for level 1 and you just don't teach a lot of them, or are you
No,
not at all?
nope, nope, Candy. I'm not level 2 either.
Really? Candy's
No,
a high school teacher.
no. Shout out Candy. What does she teach? Candy, what do
Um,
you teach if she
Candy,
doesn't
correct
know?
me if I'm wrong. I think she's special education.
Okay. My mom was
She'll
a
put it
special ed
in here.
teacher.
What's that?
My mom was a special ed teacher.
Oh, okay. I think that's
Yeah.
where my heart is. That's where I probably should teach.
Hmm.
Let's see. James. Oh wait, I don't teach level 1 because I prefer upper levels. Yeah.
Yes.
And she uses few props too. I remember we had a big conversation
Hmm.
with her in the chat one time. Um, we haven't gotten her on the channel yet. She's behind the scenes, but she's awesome and comes to a lot of lives and always has great questions. But
Yeah, I love the
she's not a level
questions.
1, and she's a minimal
No.
prop person too.
And it's just been my strict rule. I'm not going to get certified for 2 or below, because
Really?
even for 3s, that's pushing
Oh,
my
really?
comfort level. A level
Yeah.
3, because I know for like trial people, level 1 people, they think level 3 is so advanced. You can have conversations with them. And to me, it's like, my word, like they can barely talk. That's how it feels coming
Yeah.
from my level 8
Right.
classes. Going down to a 3 is just like, oh my word, this is just like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
And so that's how
I'm
I feel with
certified
trials and the lower
7,
levels.
up through 7, but I've never had any 7s.
No,
I
you've
do
never
enjoy
had any?
6.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
get a lot of level 7s, but they're like my regular ones that I've had throughout 4, 5, 6.
Aw.
Yeah, so I've had some for over 2 years now, and they're my babies.
So do you think a level 1 teacher can get away without using props? I will
Yes.
say this is highly debatable on my
Yes,
channel
this
many
I'm
times.
sure
So
this is controversial. I
yeah,
am sure.
exactly.
But let me tell you, if I can teach a trial without props, you can teach a level 1 without props.
Yeah.
It's
I just
possible.
think
And
I think the younger the kids, the more they need to see a physical
mhm.
prop with it. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's every teacher's choice, that's every
Right.
student's choice, and that's why I think you're going to get those regular students and their parents, because a lot of times it's what they want, what the
Yeah.
parents want, and what they're expecting. And so I think that's where seeing your regulars really tells you what those parents want from you.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think it's props, and even with trials, like I've never had one complaint
Right. What
about no
about 2D
props for
props? Do you
for
use
anything.
Oh,
I use
sorry.
my phone.
Yeah, like Google Slides or something?
No, I just find my own stuff, whatever I want to do, and just hold it up.
Hmm.
That's all I do.
Oh, so you really prepare ahead of time then?
No, I'll just pull it up and Google whatever we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
we're talking about a certain type of food and they don't know how to say it in English, I'll let
Yeah.
them write it out for me and then I'll Google it really fast.
Okay.
Or vice versa. If I'm trying to say something and they're just like, I don't know what that word is. I've tried drawing it. It doesn't work, whatever. I'll do things like that.
Right.
Or for a reward, even with older ones, I will just show them pictures of like what I've done throughout the week and
Oh,
just let them
fun.
kind of know more about my family. And most of the time with them for rewards, it's just talking.
Hmm.
That's really all it is. And so with my lower levels, I do the same thing, or I just do high fives
Hmm.
and I keep it as simple as possible.
And I mean, if you have parents coming back from level 4,
Mhm.
5, 6, I mean, obviously that's what they like too.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
so
great.
for people that are in lower levels, that may be challenging.
Yeah.
But even if I started, if for some reason I was like, okay, I need to open some level 1s and 2s,
Hmm.
I would start off without using props. Now, if I saw like, oh, they're not liking it or I'm having trouble getting bookings, then I probably would attempt that.
Yeah.
But now I'm just kind of curious how it would happen, but I don't want to go do that. I'm not going to risk it. I'll let
Right.
you risk it. That's what you can do. You can be ultra minimalist for like
Hmm.
1 week with no props.
That's
Then
not
let
my
me know
teaching
how it
style.
goes.
I would be like, woo!
What do you do?
I'm so hands-on myself. Like even during lives, I always have something in my hand
Mhm.
that I'm fiddling with. I try to keep it below camera, but sometimes you can see in the videos that
Yes.
I have like
Yes.
squishy balls that I fiddle with. So I always have something in my hand. So
Yeah, yeah. For me, I work on making it just this super laid back, chill, like cozy lounge room for
yeah,
me. And we just keep it very casual.
yeah. Now I'm not like over the top like "Yee!"
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
So I'm a little yeah, I'm kind of different there. But
And
um
that's where I differ too from the whole like just over the top dramatic. Ah,
yeah.
like it's so exciting.
I like
VIP
that.
kid
A lot of kids need
dino.
that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you can just take it too far, and
Yeah.
especially with kids that are getting older, and that's where there can be a fine line of how old is too old for props, or how old is too
Yeah.
old to be like, "Hi, I'm teacher Sarah," depending on even if they're a lower level,
Hmm.
should we be treating older kids like that? So that's kind of a tricky at what
Right.
point do you transition from younger to older? And I think that is just dependent on each kid.
I agree. I remember back when James was like, I don't have any level ones. And then he got a few level ones
40%.
and he got some 5 apple feedbacks. And now
Wow.
40% of his schedule is level 1.
So
That's
James,
awesome.
I have to ask you, do you like 40% of your schedule being level 1?
I think James is just one of those guys that can he'll teach whoever is in front of him.
Yeah,
But I'd like
just
to
teach
know.
whatever he can.
Yeah.
Bark like a dog.
What?
See, did you read his comment? It says he'll open the mic, bark like a dog, then open the camera with the dog
Oh,
puppet.
there it is. Yeah.
See, good for you, James. Good for you. You're going above and beyond
He's
what this
fun.
teacher does. You're a
Candy said, I'm
champ.
scared of level 1. It seems the parents are quick to leave bad feedback. Yeah, I agree. And have
Why do you think
unrealistic
that is?
expectations. What's that?
Why do you think that is?
I think because when your kids are younger, like as a kindergarten teacher, sometimes I'm the first one to tell them that their kid's not perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you kind of break it to them that they need to work on things, and they just thought they were like where they needed to be already. So how,
Yes.
and level 1s and some level 2s, the parents hover more. And, I mean, that's part of their thing, and they're supposed to be there to help and stuff. But when you have 6s and 7s, normally the parents aren't there to give you the bad feedback. The kids give their own feedback sometimes. So,
and I mean, even then, like a lot of parents aren't even reading the feedback you wrote back. It's the kids. The kids can do it, and the kids can write a message back to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think I agree with her there. We had a discussion about that once.
And I guess I can give my position from the other side, teaching mostly upper levels. I'd have to look at it and see. I have over 1,000 5 apples, and then I have 5 that are 4 apples.
Oh.
And so that shows you, and that's been over 3 years, getting only 5 4 apples. So I'm really thankful for that number.
Yeah.
And that may be a big part of me teaching older students.
I had 2 1 apples. But then it wasn't directed towards me. It was directed towards VIP-Kid. And I'm like, that's the worst. Fair.
That's not fair at all. And they wouldn't invalidate it?
They invalidated it. It didn't even say anything about me. It was all like talking about the VIP-Kid store and stuff that the kids can use. Oh, I was so hurt. I was so sad. And then they booked me like 2 weeks later. But they gave every single teacher that little girl had a 1 apple with the same thing. So it wasn't just me, but it still shows that I have 2 1 apples on there, even though they're
invalidated. It still shows it? Oh. Does it still affect your percentage?
No.
Okay. No. Okay, good.
I know, right? Okay, let's see. So I was going to ask your favorite props and rewards, but you said talking, right?
Yeah, for rewards, I would definitely say talking with my older ones, playing any sorts of games with them. Again, I'm not going to be like holding up, doing whatever. It's just all on the computer. So that's my thing. And I have a pet peeve about teachers doing immature, kiddish rewards with older students.
Oh, yeah.
And that's again where it's like, where is that line? And so I have one kid that I've taught over a year, and he even told me one time, like, this teacher did this with me and I did not like it because he felt like it was too immature and kiddish.
Yeah.
So with my kids that I teach, I really don't do too much of that because I don't want to seem insulting to them because a lot of my kids, I would say the majority are 10 plus.
Yeah. I do have some up there. I always give them a choice though. And I will say 90% still pick find a star.
Really?
Even though I give them choices of guess the word or talking or would you rather. And they'll choose them every once in a while, but I think because I have Minecraft and Pokemon, so all the older boys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And see, that's something that I do not do, and maybe I should be doing, is like incorporating kids topics or TV shows or movies or whatever like that. Whereas for me, it's just more of talking and like, what are you interested in? We'll talk about that. Or what I will also do too, is if they tell me a song that they like or something, I'll pull it up on my phone and we'll listen to it right then on YouTube, or like we'll sing together or dance together with it. And so that's another reward that I'll do too with my kids.
Oh, that's right. Candy gives trophies. She's got
I used to do that when I first started. So I was not a minimalist when I was a minimalist in my home when I started with VIPKid, but I was not a VIPKid minimalist. I started with cutesy little props that I made and all of that stuff. And I had little trophies too in the beginning. That's what made me think of that.
Just for the fact that if I get low apples, they won't invalidate it since you didn't do a reward. Yeah.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. Here's the trick around that. What I would personally argue for older students, the reward is talking. that's what we're doing as our reward. They're doing a good job, so we're going to spend time talking. If they did a bad job, or if they just struggled, we're going to go back and review stuff that you struggled. But if everything went well, you did great. And the time that I'm taking at the end to talk with them and to talk about whatever they want to do, what they're interested in, is probably the same amount of time teachers would be doing giving rewards every 5 minutes.
Right. So what are some of your questions or your rapport building? What do you talk about?
I talk to them about what they did that day, what's been the most fun thing they did that week, and whatever the lesson is, of course, I'll try to integrate that topic into it and extend there. But a lot of times we're just talking about their hobbies, talking about what they did with their friends, talking about mostly talking about their homework and how they wish they were doing something different.
Right.
We talk about that a lot, and it just breaks my heart.
I know.
And I'm just like,
what'd you do today? I went to school. What'd you do after school? I did my homework.
I know. And I have some kids who like are in school for 13 hours a day and then come home and have homework. And so I keep things chill and laid back for them. I know they've had it rough already that day. And so we talk about whatever they want to talk about. A lot of times too, I'll even say, I'll ask you 5 questions and you get a star for each question that you answer. But sometimes with my older kids, I'll switch it and I say, you have to ask me a question and then I'll give you a star. And so that's also a reward. What I do, if I don't have time for a reward, or if I'm just like, they're too young, they're not going to be able to talk with me or whatever, I do high fives. That's my reward. You get a high five, you get a star. And so if they come back and say, well, you didn't have a reward. Yes, I did. That was my reward. And so I've never had any complaints about physical props. I don't know if anyone knows that's like a requirement to have physical props. Is it?
I don't know that it's a requirement. We've talked about that on here too. Let us know what you think in the chat. Sarah, are you inspired by Marie Kondo?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now you're speaking my language. Yes, yes, yes. Marie Kondo for sure. I love Marie Kondo. However, she is not exactly the same as being a minimalist. She is really good on like decluttering, getting rid of things, but it's not always minimal. It could be just very organized, color-coded, very structured. Whereas minimalism is getting rid of as much as you can that you don't need or love.
Yeah.
And
I
so
like
that's
it.
why I keep
It's
my
like
classroom
clean
that way.
and neat. I need to declutter. I don't
Where do you
necessarily
live?
want to be.
Where do you live?
Where do I live?
Uh-huh.
In Florida, but we've moved so much.
Far away.
We just came back from overseas. And so I have stuff from like every country that we lived and visited.
No,
so I
keep
just
that
have
stuff.
a lot of stuff.
Keep that stuff. And that's what people get caught up on, is they think like, I don't want to be a minimalist because I don't want to get rid of my things. Like I have so many special things that I love. If you have everything that's special, none of it's special.
Right.
So get rid of the junk, but then keep those things.
It's big stuff. It's not like little knick-knacky stuff. It's a lot of
stuff. Do you love the furniture?
Well, a lot of the Japanese, yeah.
So then keep it. Keep it.
Yeah.
If you love it, keep it. And that's still minimalist.
Yes. Cindy's been working on getting rid of a lot of stuff. She's been posting. It is hard. And Cindy, after your kids are like in college and everything, isn't it hard? It's like, oh, this was their stuff from kindergarten.
Yeah, that would be.
When they were in high school, I probably could have gotten rid of it. But now that they're not here anymore, I'm like,
Yeah. So James said you're supposed to have 2 or 3 types throughout the lesson. Well, I'm slacking then. What I would say is I use my phone a lot throughout the class. Here it is. I use my camera cover.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Right here. I have a short YouTube video showing you how to make one of these out of a toilet paper roll.
One. I like it.
Super easy. And so I have a ton of those that I've made for my students. So, I mean, I guess these are technically props, but I don't use them very often. And if I do, it's not during class, it's just before class to cover my camera. So I don't really consider that a prop, but I guess I could, if I had to fight it, I could say that's my prop, or like I use my phone for something. But I've never had an issue with it. And so I guess I'm looking at it more of ask for forgiveness instead of permission, because I feel like, and maybe that's too arrogant of me, I don't know. I don't feel like they would
I
fire someone for not using enough props, especially if
right.
there's been no complaint. I don't know. I
I'm
could be
such a
wrong.
rule follower. If I see something that says I have to have more, I'd be like, okay.
Now, see, if I got like a direct thing, like you guys
Oh,
must be using this number, then I
right.
would be, but I've never been told
Yeah, you're right,
exactly.
James. I do remember now. I think Melissa's not here right now, but Melissa would
Free
know.
props.
She does the coaching with
Okay,
VIPKid getting started.
gotcha.
I do remember, and I don't know if that's just for the interview, but I do remember you're supposed to have a couple different props throughout. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
use
for sure,
Google
like in the
Slide.
beginning, in your interview demos, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, you're gonna have to do stuff like that. But I
right.
think once you're pretty established, at least for me, I would say I've gone prop free for probably a year and a half or
Yeah.
so without any complaints.
Hmm.
But yeah, I completely agree with what they're saying about just covering your own butt if something is
Yeah.
to happen.
Your tuchus.
Um,
Didn't she call it a tuchus?
yes.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
Getting rid of stuff is hard. My dad got rid of all my stuff, like from when you were a kid.
I'm trying
Aw.
to remember. I think I took all my stuff with me. As soon as I finished basic training, I was like, just packed up and brought it all with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Photos for props and rewards a lot. I remember
Mhm.
Cindy, that's one of the first things I remember is her teaching me. She went ice skating and took a little video of her ice skating for the hobbies lesson. So I remember her telling me about that when I first got started in VIPKid. Sarah, how many followers do you have?
I just saw that. So let me pull it up. Like I told you, my VIPKid one is a baby. It's at 56 subscribers, but I know it's going to increase because every single one of you watching is going to go sub to me right now.
Right?
So I know that number's going to go up.
And I like your
Um,
personality.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm very direct and open and just speak whatever I'm
Mhm.
thinking,
I
which
think
sometimes
she
can be
means
bad.
how many VIPKid followers, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Let me
most of my
look.
friends are very direct because I don't know when someone's upset with me unless they tell me. I'm always like,
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
happy. Yay.
I try to be a very happy, bubbly person.
Mhm.
On VIP Kit, I have 373.
Awesome. I think I have 58.
Okay. And I mean, that just comes with time. That comes with time from doing
Yeah,
it. And
so sweet.
yeah, 373. And then um again, I teach very, very part-time. So I've taught a long time, but I don't
Hmm.
teach crazy hours a week like a lot of people do. So I've taught over 3,000 classes, over 700 students, and
Yeah.
almost 80,000 minutes. It sounds so impressive.
Do you use WeChat? Now I want to check
Uh,
mine.
no, I had it before, and then I just really didn't use it very much. So
Hmm.
I ended up getting rid of it. So I really just don't use anything like that.
Yeah. Let's see. I've taught 456 days and 67,200 minutes.
Wow. Wow. That's
Let's
awesome.
see. Cindy said, I just subbed. I saw your video recently before Kasie said she was interviewing you, the one about PTSD. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to pull the chat back up
Oh.
because I went to my channel. Now I'm coming back to this video and it is making me watch your ad now. There we go.
Oh, darn. Giving me
I
money.
know. Bummer. Okay, now it's not. There we go. Live chat. So
Oh,
does she
Candy,
have
are
a
you going to
question?
Journey? She wants to know if you're going to the virtual Journey conference.
No.
No. I had heard that we can all meet in one coffee area. So we should all say, hey, let's meet in coffee shop 3 or something like that.
See, I do the bare minimum when it
Yeah.
comes to VIP Kid in every single way. And I don't want that to sound bad, like I'm just lazy on my job and like don't do
No.
anything or whatever. But I have been just about fully booked or almost fully booked. Quarantine, COVID has made it a little bit
Yeah.
less booked, but still like very dependable. And so I don't really see the need for a lot of those things, especially because I have a teaching degree. My license is in teaching language, and
Yeah.
so I don't really feel like I have the need to go to a ton of workshops just because things are going so
Oh,
smoothly as it is and things
yeah,
like that.
this is the conference. This is where teachers meet teachers. We network, we talk to each other. That's actually how I got Rika on my channel. Rika
Hmm.
Russell. I met her in one of the networking shops, and yeah, so that was
Is
fun.
it a virtual one, I'm
Virtual
assuming?
journey. Yeah.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah,
So,
I pretty much stick to teaching in my classroom, and that's
uh-huh.
all I do. I
Yeah.
teach, show up, and do my job.
I just love talking to the teachers.
Yeah, yeah. And
Obviously, my channel is all about talking, so.
yes, yes. Hey, mine is too. I have a sit down talk. And that's another thing I wanted to point out. This is both my classroom and my YouTube studio. Like,
Great.
it's literally the same. So I just have this up for Teacher Sarah. And underneath, I have my other
Oh,
YouTube channel
yeah.
name on there. Whoops, now it fell down. Anyhow, so this is
I want to set up
literally
a
my
studio.
classroom. What?
I want to set up a studio. So I
Yes.
just bought a green screen thing to put behind me,
Wow.
and I have another desk that we haven't been using. So I want to put that behind me and make a very professional looking
Yeah, that would be nice. That
YouTube
would be nice.
studio. Yeah, but my classroom, I still want my classroom. I can't wait to put my Eric Carl back up though, because there we go.
Oh,
My
cute.
my Eric Carl is really cute and colorful, and yeah. So we're in my classroom today.
Yeah, yeah. For me, being minimalist, I think it's really important to have multiple purposes for each thing
Oh
or for
yeah,
each space. And so for
yeah.
me, this is a bedroom that I'm in right here. But I just use it as my room,
Hmm.
basically. So I have my classroom. This is where I record YouTube videos. I have a bed just to go chill out if I need to get away from the toddler for a little bit. This is where I do my crafting. It's just my
Yeah.
multi-purpose space. And that's what I try to use my desk and my little corner here for, is as
Uh-huh.
many purposes as I can.
Great. Let's see. Cindy said you might get more subscribers. Haha. Okay, let's see.
Yay.
So I think you pretty much explained what a minimalist is.
Hmm.
Are there easy steps? If somebody said they wanted to become a minimalist, where would you tell them to get started?
My
Or
YouTube channel.
how?
I have a
True
ton of
story.
videos. I don't know how many, but 50 plus videos, 50, 60 plus videos, a ton on minimalism, how to get started, minimalist tips for beginners, all of that kind of stuff. Um, Basically, just get started.
Hmm.
You don't have to go watch all the minimalist documentaries. You don't have to read Marie Kondo's book. You don't have to have this big elaborate plan and structure of where you're going to start and how you're going to do it. Just
Right.
get started somewhere. I really like working room by room. Marie Kondo is not a room by room person. She thinks you work in categories. So, like, you do all of your clothes first, you do all of your paper materials first,
Hmm.
you do all of your whatever category. I don't like
Paper
that.
is paper
Paper's a
is where
tough
I'm at,
one.
I think.
That's a tough
So
one.
much
And
paper.
digital. I stink at digital minimalism, but got to get there.
Yeah.
So that's really what I think is, you just have to get started, get going. And my biggest thing would be, have a get rid of pile, let me rephrase that. Have a donate pile, have a trash pile, have a keep pile, and have a maybe pile.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we're not just donating trash and junk to people, but we also don't want to be trashing good items either.
Right.
So that's why
Yeah.
I recommend having those two different piles. And a lot of people, as they're decluttering, will just say one to get rid of, one to keep, one maybe. I think it's important that we separate that into 4 different categories, because you're going
Right.
to have to separate them later on between what you're getting rid of and what you're donating. So anyhow,
Good.
hi, people
Hey,
watching. Kelly.
Victoria. Thanks for coming. Oh, Victoria, before we got started on here, I was telling Sarah that you'll be reading your book on my channel tomorrow.
That's so exciting.
So excited for it.
Awesome.
She read me a page and a half. And so now I need to know the
Now
rest of
you
the
have to know what happens.
I
Yeah.
know. So excited. Kelly said she needs to scale back, so she'll be watching.
Yay.
So guys, I put both of her channels below in the description box. So go ahead and check those out after this
Yes.
video.
Yes. Watch the rest of the video, but then go do that.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't mind, please give us a thumbs up. I
Yes.
haven't said that in a long time. So let's see. Are you tech savvy?
I would think yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I'm sure I'm not so much as a lot of other teachers. I had a Mac before and it quit working on me after probably like 10 years or so, close to that. And so I had to get a new one. It's an HP. So I'm still working on getting used to everything on my new computer just because I love Apple products so much. And so it's really hard for me to get used to something like this. But it's just, you know, your basic laptop that I use. It is a touch screen, and I will say I love, love, love having the touch screen. And I realized that I wanted to get that due to other VIPKid teachers who have talked about using theirs and how much it helps. And so I got like a really good, way too expensive stylus. And so I can write really easily on the pages. And this is my prop. If I have to say I use a prop, I use this in every single class. Every single class. And I just use it because I write on the screen constantly. And it's so much easier than just using your mouse pad that most laptops have.
Mine's touch screen too. I should just use my stylus too.
Yeah. I have these headphones, and in another video, I can't remember if I already shared it or if it's one that's just uploaded and scheduled to come out. These are called Buttful Lake.
Buttful Lake?
Yes, and that name cracked me up. You should see the video. Whenever I first looked at it, and I'm like, okay, so my headphones are
it's up there. It's up there. I remember watching that.
Did you watch it? Yes, because I'm like, that cannot be right. But it is.
You said that too. You're like, wait, that can't be right.
Yeah, it's called Buttful Ache, but it sounds like butt flake. I don't know why they did that. These are the ones that go over your ears. I really don't like them. A lot of people say they like them and recommended it, and it looks comfy and stuff. But to me, it's just more pressure that's tighter. And this is weird and gross, but my ears sweat. My ears sweat, and I don't like that. So I think that's kind of weird.
I can't wear earbuds. My ears are so little, they hurt.
They hurt me too. So I have been teaching without a headset or microphone for maybe a month, 2 months now. And I was hesitant at first because like, oh, the audio is going to be horrible. What's going to happen?
Right.
Not a complaint yet. Everything's gone great. And I started it with my older kids that were regulars for me. So I could be like, okay, I'm going to test this out on you guys. Tell me if it's working or not, because lower levels would struggle. So
good.
Cindy
said, Sarah, I would like to interview you on my channel about minimalism.
How fun. I would love that. What's your channel? Is it Cindy Bennett?
It is. It's Cindy Bennett, or Cindy Bennett 13. One's her channel, one's her email. She has 13 kids. It's amazing. I love her story. I love just hearing about her family.
Oh my.
James said, I know what you're saying about the over-the-ear headphones. My ears too. Yeah.
And I deal with headaches. I have headaches 24/7.
Yeah.
All the time. And so that's really hard with bright lights. I have a ring light in front of me, which right now it's not good. I've just got the sunlight coming in. The ring light will hurt so bad. Then you have the pressure on your head, which makes it even worse. And then you have like, it's the worst when classes have loud static in the background and you just hear that the entire time.
Yeah. That's
hard too. So the mixture of all of those things is just too much for me. So I keep my ring light on, and then I don't worry about the headset, and it's been cool. I will say for microphones though, if anyone's interested for their YouTube channels, is I have this cool little microphone that I'm in love with just because I think it looks really cool.
It does.
And it works really, really, really well. And that's what I use for recording all of my videos. And I got it a few months ago, but it really wasn't too expensive either, just from Amazon. And so those are like my techie things.
Right. When you hear my audio is not right on my videos, not the live ones, but the other ones, it's because I forgot to plug in my microphone.
I've so done that. I have done that too.
I drive myself crazy. James said, I'm nervous about not using the headphones in case I'm monitored by the office. Same, James. Yeah. It gets me nervous and sick to my stomach on some days. And when I see a feedback come in, I get nervous and sick to my stomach still after a year and a half.
Yeah. I think, again, with more time that will pass, or I guess with more positive feedback that will pass for you, because
I'm a people pleaser. I don't know.
See,
That's
I
just,
am too, but when it comes to this, for some reason, I'm not. I guess
yeah.
just because I've done it for a while now, and just because I
Mhm.
feel like teaching is just what I'm used to doing. I
Yeah.
guess I don't feel like all the extras are necessary if people aren't complaining about it. And I could
Yeah.
be totally wrong there with that mindset. But I know of other teachers too that are doing the exact same
Oh
thing,
yeah.
that are using fewer and fewer props.
Mhm.
Like he mentioned about the headphones, I didn't start doing it until I read about other teachers that were doing it. So
Yeah.
I know I'm not the only one. So if I'm going to go
Yeah.
down, we're all going to go down. Um, but I mean, I don't see the need for it if the
Mhm.
audio is good, if you
Yeah.
can hear your student, if everyone is happy with it, I don't see the problem for it. It just
Mhm.
seems excessive to me, and I'm a minimalist, so we want to get rid
Yeah.
of the excess.
Candy wants to know if you teach on OutSchool.
No.
No.
Mm-mm. VIPKid is the only thing I do right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
James said, I have a couple of students whose feedback is so bad. I hear myself on their side 1 second after I start talking. Yeah. I have to remove the headphones. Then I tell the LP.
It can
Yeah.
be awful. It can be awful.
I know. And I'm loud as it is. I certainly don't want to hear myself twice.
Yeah. Cindy said that she hasn't been using one either. Lots of teachers
Oh,
don't
I
use
just got that
headsets.
one.
The speakers come on. Computers are awesome.
And
That's funny.
a lot of them are so upgraded now too, I think, the
Hmm.
computers and stuff.
I mean,
And
that
I
would
think
be
Cindy's
like
got a new
them.
one.
Oh, sorry. That would
Oh,
be like them requiring us to have an outside or an outside camera for our computer. That would be
yeah,
silly. It's like our computer already has a camera. Why would I go buy another one? Same
right.
thing with the microphone and the speaker. It already comes with the speaker. It already comes with the microphone. So if it's working, great.
Yeah.
But I also understand on the student end too, sometimes it's horrible.
Hmm.
So how do you know if yours is horrible or not for the other
I hear
person?
I hear if you watch the class playback, you can see their side.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Because
Okay.
I was told, like, sometimes you think it's not you. Everything looks fine. I'm not
Uh-huh.
having these IT, but then when you watch the playback and see what the kid sees, you're like an empty box. And they're like, what?
Oh,
So,
wow. And see,
yeah,
I've never seen something like that in the feedback, so I guess I should go watch some
yeah.
more
I
and
haven't,
see.
it's just what I've heard on here. So,
Mhm.
how long does it take you to video and edit for YouTube?
It depends obviously on the length of my video.
Yeah,
For this VIPKid channel, I've been keeping them pretty short and sweet. Teachers, we just want information. We want to learn
yeah,
something and go. On my other channel, I made some really long videos in the
yeah,
20-minute, 30-minute range because they were deeper, more sensitive personal topics, especially
yeah,
related to my mental health. So for these videos for VIPKid, it does not take long at all because I can record a video in 10 minutes or less.
yeah,
And then I can edit that probably within an hour or two, I would say, is about how
yeah.
much I spend recording or editing a video. And if it's a longer project, then it's going to take more time. But
Right.
that's typically about what I would say is an hour or two per video.
Good. And I was telling you that I have 290 live videos because I don't have to edit.
Exactly. And that's what I was just thinking whenever you were telling me about this. I was like, hey, that could be a sweet gig right
Yeah,
there. No editing
right?
videos, just putting it right up there.
I'm just gonna throw this out, a shameless plug for myself. I have lives Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 5 in a row this week. Let's see. Sarah, there was an issue with people's built-in cameras on their laptops. If head office found the camera quality bad, they locked teachers' accounts. Huh, 4 or
Goodness.
5 months ago. Wow.
So why, like, how are they even going to know that it's your built-in camera and it's not like one on the outside? How would they even know that?
Well, I guess camera issues are camera issues. Maybe they
So
were
I guess
going
it's just saying like people were having, like, it wasn't a VIPKid issue. It was the people who their cameras just weren't working on their computers, I guess.
right. Maybe the majority were
Yeah.
built in. So,
But I have never used an external camera. I have used an internal camera
oh,
3
really?
years. 3 years. And I guess
Um,
that's why I'm so laid back about things, is because I've been doing it pretty much the same way for 3 years and it's been
yeah.
okay. I haven't had any issues. The camera quality was bad.
Let's see.
Mm.
All right. So I don't see any new questions came in. Let's go to the final three. And if anybody has
Okay.
any last minute questions, put them in the chat and I'll ask them after these. So what do you think are qualities of a good teacher?
I think first of all, you have to care about the kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's just number one. You have to put that out there. And it's a shame that I have to say that, but there are so many teachers in our public school system, and I'm sure in the VIPKid system as well, that just want a
Yeah.
paycheck. And I get it. We all need to make money. I'm doing this for money too, but I'm also doing this because I love kids. And I feel like this is what
Yeah.
my passion is and what I'm called to do and what is right for
Mhm.
me. So I feel like that's first. If you don't feel that way about kids, just go find a different job
Right.
because this is not going to be fun for you or for them.
Right. Between the lack of sleep and everything.
Yeah.
If you don't love kids, this is kind of a tough gig.
Exactly. So that's what I say. And again, you can fake it till you make it, but kids can see through that.
Yeah, I
And you're
agree.
going to hate your job. Like, if you're
Yeah.
just not happy, you just want it for money. I would say do something else that's a little more mundane or not so personal with other people if you're not really interested in that kind of field. Or if you
Right.
just don't have the patience to be a teacher. Patience is another huge thing
Yeah.
to be able to contain the frustration. I think being an actor is a big part of being a teacher, whether it's VIPKid or public school, because I can be having the worst day ever, but
Hmm.
I can't let that kid see it. And
Right.
I've experienced that throughout depression. I've had times where I was just almost crying through my classes because I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
But you have to suck it up and you just have to do it. And so you kind of
Hmm.
have to be an actor. And then it can even be if you think the lesson is so cheesy and you've taught it like 3 times that same day, you still have to be able to put on that happy face and go
Yeah.
through it like it's the first time you've ever done it. So I think acting is a huge part of being a teacher as well.
That's one good thing about kindergarten. I didn't have to teach the same lesson 3 or 4 times in a day.
Yes, yes.
Let's see. Yeah, talking about more about the cameras. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so where do you see yourself in like 5 years? I'm a big goal setting kind of person. I
Uh-huh.
love it.
Career wise, I do not see myself going back into public education.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're going to hear my toddler.
Oh,
Um,
yay. I love babies. I'm good.
you're going to hear him screaming. Promise he's not unattended. He is with his father. But
Most of us are parents here. I don't think
exactly.
anybody's worried
We
about that.
all
We're
get
teachers.
it. Exactly. So career-wise, I do not see myself going back to public education or even private education,
Yeah.
like a private school or anything of that nature. Now I would do private tutoring. I would love to do some more tutoring on the side. I plan on being with VIPKid in 5 years. I feel like 2020 is crazy and life is crazy, so you never know what's going to happen with anything in life. So
Right.
if I still have the opportunity to be with VIPKid in 5 years, I hope that that's where I'll be. Another goal I have for YouTube is to be monetized shortly. I know you're monetized.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. My other channel is at 800 something. I'm not
Yes,
sure,
you're so
820,
close.
850. So I'm getting close over there. So that would be another goal for me too, is to get
Mhm.
monetized and possibly be able to help bring in some side income for my family as well. But I plan
Yeah.
on homeschooling my son. So he will be in whatever grade in 5 years. He's 3 right now, so I'm not going to do
Oh,
the math. 8, I don't know. He'll be what, like
second,
third grader, second grader, 8? I don't know,
7, 8.
somewhere in
Usually
there.
they start at 7 and finish at 8, but at least at the
Okay.
schools I've worked at.
Okay, gotcha. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
But I plan on staying home with him.
Aw. James said, has anyone had problems with VIPKid connections lately? No, I haven't, but you're not alone. I've seen it in the chats and in the
I just
Slack
saw
group.
today, I'm not sure what group it was in. It may have been mine for Arkansas. I'm in Arkansas.
Mm.
And people were saying today specifically, they were having a lot of connection issues this
Oh,
morning. I was good. I didn't have any issues.
yeah, mine were good too.
So it may just be a regional thing, may just be a weird glitch in the system for some people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Sorry.
mean, yeah, sorry about
I had to
that.
check on my puppy. He's he is such a great puppy until I'm on live.
Gotcha.
Even on my classes though, I think he's just too tired in the mornings. He doesn't do anything
Uh-huh.
wrong, But lately, every time I'm on a live, it's like,
Kind of
hey,
make this way
Rebecca, thanks for coming late to the party. It's okay. You didn't get a teacher no shows.
Hi. Hey, looky there. That's a plus. We'll still welcome
She
you.
rocks. She's got 2 little ones. Switching classes the other day, I lost my connection to VIPKid, but
no.
I still had the rest of the internet. Oh, that
That's
iPad comes in handy all the time. Cindy's the one in charge. She's the admin for the iPad group. She made that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's got a huge Facebook group for the iPad. So
How awesome. That's really cool.
what are some great teaching resources that you've come across?
As for being a VIPKid teacher, I would say I don't really use a ton of resources, but I would say it comes from the resources I used in the past. In my teaching career. And so there were tons of things online that I found that I used in relation to my Spanish classroom. And I feel like it's really different though, whenever you aren't assigning the homework, you're not grading the stuff, they're really, I don't feel like there's a huge need for resources right now, apart from, I think YouTube channels are great to be able to hear from other VIPKid teachers' experiences directly from them. So I think YouTube is a wonderful resource in relation to teaching with VIPKid. Teaching in general, I mean, there are just countless types of resources out there. But for me personally, I've always made my own lesson plans, my own tests, my own homework, every single thing never came from a book. And so for me, I'm just used to doing that myself and not reaching out too much from other people. I just try to do it on my own, I guess.
Good. Very good. Yeah, I was just going to say something about resources and I can't remember what it was. When I was teaching in the classroom, I used a lot of Teachers Pay Teachers. I love some of those teachers on there.
And see, another that kind of ties into goals too. I'm not wanting to do something I don't think on Teachers Pay Teachers, but I have thought about creating my own documents and doing digital downloads and things of that nature as well, for a financial side thing, because my background has been a lot of developing curriculum and doing things like that. I think that would be another cool thing to add on to VIPKid, is to do some digital downloads.
Would you do ESL?
Would I teach ESL?
Would you, for your resources that you would make, are you thinking like ESL or?
If I'm doing it with VIPKid stuff, then yes, it would probably be all ESL focused or VIPKid focused of some nature. Like, people make all of those intro tips that they're giving to all of their new hirees or recruitees, whatever we call them, having something already developed like that together that you could send to someone and just download, and they have it instantly with like your whole plan of what to do and all the tips and all the things you need to know. So things like that would be really cool. Things like, or if you guys have suggestions, let me know.
I was thinking like, you're a Spanish teacher, you could make Spanish curriculum to help new ESL teachers. Like make readers in Spanish, or I don't know.
Like to help them understand what it's like being the language learner? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I wasn't thinking like online. I was thinking more of like
big picture education.
Brick and mortar teacher that needs curriculum.
Yes, I mean, I could take it either way. I could take it the Spanish route or the English route, either way.
Do you have a video that shows how to use the iPad with VIPKid while on a home computer? I think Cindy does. Yeah.
I definitely do not.
Cindy. Yeah, I think Cindy does.
4 iPads in the house. Oh my goodness. James, you are set. 4. I don't even have one that I use.
And he's in Vietnam too. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, James, how's the house coming? I can't wait to get, he's going to have to do a tour of his new house. Well, that is all I have, Sarah. Thank you so much. I've kept you here for almost an hour.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you for having me. I've been quarantining for the most part, so this is great socialization for me. So thank you all for being my friends.
I think that's why the interviews are so popular. We had one with Kristen from Kristen's classroom when COVID first started, and it was 2.5 hours, and we had 24 people that stayed with us talking.
Wow.
And I'm like, people just need to talk to adults right
Yes, we just
now.
need connection. And I even feel that way, like coming and teaching my students, even that's connection for me because it's someone other than my husband, my son, and my
Right.
mom, because those are the only people I've been around for 8 months. So even being able to talk with our students, you still feel like it
Yeah.
sounds so typical. Everyone says it, but you are traveling the world. You are
Mhm.
getting to go outside of your house every time that you're teaching. And I love
Yeah.
that.
Love it. Love it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging
Thank
out
you
and chat with
guys.
us. And please remember to go check out her channel. She is so close to subscribe or monetizing that one channel, and we're trying to help her out with her VIP Kid channel as well.
That's right.
So thank you.
Ooh, can I
Yeah,
make a plug here?
of course. Go for it.
Okay. I am going to be doing a VIPKid t-shirt giveaway
Fun.
pretty soon in the near future. So you guys definitely be on the lookout for that on my VIPKid channel because that should be probably within 2 weeks or so that it will
Okay.
be a completely free t-shirt giveaway for y'all. And it's a five
Remind me.
apple dino shirt. Yes.
Yeah, remind me, and we'll put it on my community thingy. I don't
Perfect.
know what it is on
Perfect.
YouTube.
That'd be
Community
great.
tab?
Community tab.
Cindy said, I have used the iPad with my MacBook Pro. Message me or email me. James said, okay. All right, everybody. Thanks again.
All
See you
right,
next
thanks.
time. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.